LocalBozo.com is proud to have with us as our guest for an exclusive interview 1999 United States Women's World Cup champions and star of upcoming documentary The 99ers, premiering Tuesday, August 20th on ESPN as part of the 9 for 9 series, Brandi Chastain, and the film's producer and narrator, Julie Foudy. Ladies, thanks so much for some time today.
Our pleasure. No problem.
Guys, let's first talk about the documentary, how you were first approached to relive the 1999 title run, and how the film eventually came to fruition with ESPN.
This is Julie. Aaron Layden and I were sitting in New York City a little over a year ago. Aaron is the director on the film, and we were talking about the 9 for 9 series and if soccer was going to be a part of it, and if it was going to be a part of it, what would it look like, and did we want to retell 99 again, and then about 30 minutes into the conversation, I realized and remembered that I had shot all this footage in 1999 on a little handheld camera. And back then, way back then, it was there were no cell phones with cameras or flip cams or any of that. So I literally was the only one shooting. And I said, I have all this footage from 99. We haven't told that story, the insider glimpse and this kind of behind-the-scenes journey. And she's like, really? Send it to me and let me look at some of it. And so my good friend Tracy Loft, who is the producer and editor on the film, had handed me the camera back in 1999. Tracy sent her all the footage, and here we are today. So that's how it first started.
Watching the film, you can't help but wonder, what if you hadn't been aggressively parading that handheld camera, throughout the run to the World Cup? Certainly a sports story worth documenting, but you'd really miss out on so much of the camaraderie and the closeness that made that team so endearing and so special.
There's no doubt. But I think what you would see if we didn't have the footage is how we interact with each other in person. What you get to see in this film is literally how we were on an everyday basis. Nobody putting up a front, nobody, making it up. It was very genuine and very loose and very fun-loving, and amazing that kind of attitude and, I think, outpouring of personalities in such a pressure cooker of a situation like the World Cup.
Now, every sport seems to have its share of pioneers, but the film's central focus is a return to the Rose Bowl for 8 of the principal players that helped win the Cup. Watching you all reconnect just had this very a league of their own feel to it, with far younger women, obviously. Have you guys managed to remain in touch with each other as a decade and a half has passed?
Yeah, we have. As I always say to them, to my teammates, they're stuck with me for life. So, the neat thing, though, with that is, usually when we get together, it'll be 5 of us or maybe 6 of us, but never have the 8 that we had sitting on the Rose Bowl again recently. Never have we had the 8 of us sitting together discussing it. And because when we finished that World Cup in 99, we did the media tours and we did a lot of things, but, in smaller groups and individually. And so that was fun because we hadn't gotten together as an 8 to sit down and kind of talk about it 14 years later. But to your question, yes, we still do see a lot of each other.
Has the tremendous athletic and cultural impact that the 1999 team had on our country worn off for you guys? I mean, it's pretty incredible to watch the documentary and see a current player like Abby Wambach tell you that she wouldn't have been playing soccer had it not been for your team.
Well, it's very humbling. And I think that's one characteristic that I think resonates throughout this team is, the 99 team was a team about we. It wasn't about one person or, getting attention. It was really about how would this team progress together and how would we influence, tons and, tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of young girls on the soccer field. And really, we had such a great leadership group in Julie and Carla, but then also the Women's World Cup Committee and Marla Messing and Donna De Verona. And these were people who basically said, let's do this. And then we said, okay. And they said, and we were like, well, how do we make it happen, really? And they're just like, we're going to do it. And they just believed, and I think that resonated with us about, what it could mean to a lot of people. So when Abby specifically says, this was a team that influenced her, it was a collective group, and I think that's why it's been so special and so lasting.
It's a really captivating film to watch, in that it's one of those dramatic sports pieces where you know exactly what happens and how it unfolds, yet the film has enough never-before-seen footage that adds to the triumphant victory that just feels heartfelt and has a very genuine sort of happiness just for a regular group of girls.
And I'm still nervous when Brandi gets up there.
Me too. I'm honestly, I do get nervous, and I think, goodness, I hope this is not the one that misses, I do get those butterflies in that moment, but, what I've loved about seeing this film is that there are moments that, you couldn't take everything in, when you're sitting in the locker room, you don't get to watch everybody's little moves, and they're, Julie singing in someone's face or dancing, and, it's nice for even us to sit back and to be able to watch this and say, oh yeah, I didn't see that, or oh yeah, I remember that, and it puts big, huge smiles on your face.
There are two lasting pieces that everyone manages to remember about that team. First, the celebrity spawning of Mia Hamm, which is interesting in the film considering how reclusive that she is. But Brandi, there's perhaps no more iconic photo in women's sports than you tearing off your shirt at the close of that World Cup championship. It's an image that transcends sports and is ingrained in the culture of American history. Have you ever thought back about how the imagery of the team and the cup might have been remembered had you not spontaneously pulled that move?
No, I've never thought about that, because it wasn't the reality. And, like we were talking about this morning about, we were talking with the group of Lean In, and we're just like, you just go for things, you have to have courage, and you can't be afraid of trying. And so our mindset was never, we'll fail. Our mindset was always, we're going to make it happen. And so, to be honest with you, I don't spend any time thinking about what if it didn't happen, because it did. Yeah.
Ladies, it's been an absolute honor to speak with you today. What do you hope that viewers in 2013 can take away from the 99ers?
I think that I hope what resonates with kids, and I hope what resonates with parents, equally important as well, is that sports are this great gift, and it's fun, right? And there should be laughter. And, there's a saying, I often say, laughter permitted. And sometimes I think nowadays I watch kids and I watch parents, and you see this intensity and almost this stress and anger almost in sports. And it's like, my goodness, sports are meant to be enjoyed, and they're supposed to be laughter and celebration of each other, and I just hope that comes through loud and clear. It is a great reminder for those who need it.
We've been speaking with iconic female athletes Julie Foudy and Brandi Chastain of the 1999 World Cup champion United States women's soccer team. The film, as part of the 9 for 9 series, premieres Tuesday, August 20th on ESPN. Ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. All the best of luck with the film, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Take care.